Alongside Brent Hubbs, I'm Austin Price for the Volquest Stock Report on this Mississippi State week. I'll start us off with my stock up, and I'm going Star Thomas. The guy just makes moves in a phone booth. I mean, it's like he's hitting every button on the controller and on every run. He's been fantastic. He's been electric. Catches the ball pretty well out of the backfield for the most part, and Tennessee's used him as a real weapon. So a guy who may have come here just as kind of the third option for the running back room has proved to be maybe even option number one after the first 4 games. He's been really good alongside Deshaun Bishop. Those two clearly are the top 2 running backs for Tennessee. Stock up for you.
Well, you know I'm a numbers nerd, so let's go red zone offense. And there's all this talk about Tennessee and their explosiveness, and they've certainly hit the deep ball, which excites all the fans. But where Tennessee had to improve the most offensively from a year ago was touchdown efficiency in the red zone. Number of touchdowns scored in the red zone. They settled for too many field goals a year ago. It's only 4 games. Competition is certainly going to ramp up with consistent league play week in and week out. But Tennessee's 22 of 24 in the red zone. One of those is a kneel down, which shouldn't really count. But more importantly, they have 19 touchdowns in their 22 scores that they have. So they've been efficient, Austin. They've not had to settle for a bunch of field goals. I think that's a key stat for this team as they progress through the rest of this season.
Stock down for me, I'm going to go communication on defense. The Tennessee starters, I thought they communicated fairly well Saturday, but they did have the one bad series where UAB kind of threw that junk formation at them. Both DBs went outside and the one receiver went in and just was like a walk-in touchdown. Just can't have those little communication busts, especially going on the road. You should be able to communicate better on the road because it should be fairly quiet when Mississippi State has the ball. But at the same time, you've got to communicate well. That's why I think a guy like Jalen McMurray is so important in this football game. So stock down for me, communication on the defensive side of the ball. Stock down for you.
Well, I'm staying with you and sort of stealing yours, but I'm going to tie it in a little bit more specifically to zone coverage in the secondary and with the linebacker level. They've just given up too many creases, too many seams, too many open windows and long yardage situations. You're not going to get every third down stop. Sometimes teams are just going to hit you. But you think about it, Syracuse gets their first touchdown on a 3rd and 10 conversion. UAB extends that drive to get into some of that funky formation stuff because they hit a 3rd and 10 in zone coverage in a big window. Tennessee has got to squeeze that down. They've got to limit the number of 20-yard plays they're giving up. Tennessee's given up 20 pass plays of 20 yards or more this season. That's 2 less than Tennessee's high-flying offense has. So Tennessee is the defense is getting chunked. Now, they're not getting 50-yard chunked like Tennessee's doing to other defenses, but they're just giving up too many chunk plays, too many explosions. They've got to squeeze some stuff down. I know there's injuries back there, but Josh Heupel's made it clear nobody cares because you don't know when to get any of those guys back anyway. The group they're playing with has to be better, particularly in their zone coverage in the back end.
We turn our attention to the stock stagnants of the week. Stock stagnant for you.
Just managing the road. I mean, we think they're going to be fine, right? And I mean, you certainly don't play up cowbells and you don't play up the road like, oh yeah, it's a big deal. But you're taking some guys into a road environment and they haven't played there. How are they going to handle the adversity when it happens? Because you're probably not going to go 14 for 14 for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first quarter like you did in your first big game of the year against Georgia. So it's not going to go as smoothly as you thought. How do you handle that environment? How do you handle adversity in that environment? I like the demeanor of Joey Aguilar. I don't really worry about his play. I think people will follow his lead. So I don't think this is a concern, but Austin, you don't know until you don't know, or until you know, and we'll find out Saturday. So that's just you got to check that box, if you will, when you go on the road for the first time.
I'll tell you one thing we don't know. We don't know the availability of David Hobbs. It certainly doesn't feel like he'll play in this football game. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with the injury report and all that. But not having him, not having Jackson Moy the first 4 games has been really I think a detriment to the defensive line, a detriment to the defense as a whole. Getting him back over the next few weeks, even if he's back for Arkansas, to me would be just a big addition. You should get Moy back this week. I'm less confident on Hobbs. Again, we'll see. But, again, I think for him, he needs to get back, and kind of start putting some stuff on tape because I know he had a lot of high hopes going into the season. So stock stagnant for me remains a guy who's not played this year, David Hobbs. He is Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price. This has been the Volquest Stock Report on this Mississippi State week.